Sarah Harden's resume is as long as it is impressive. She has led the Trojans to 4 women's cross-country Crossroads League team championships, won the individual league title as a freshman and sophomore, owns the fastest time in school history, earned all league honors all 4 years, and is the only 3-time All-American the program has ever had. But when she got to campus in the fall of 2017, Harden aimed to first accomplish something separate from success on the course.
Well, the main reason why I decided to come to Taylor was because of the coach and because of the team culture that they promoted on the visit. So I think my goal coming here ultimately was just to really make the most out of the team that was here and to develop meaningful relationships with them. So I think that I've definitely achieved that goal. I feel like some of my closest friendships and some of the most meaningful relationships I've ever had have been found in this team.
It was during her freshman season that those relationships were built. Harden gives credit to the upperclassmen for making her feel welcome and helping her with her adjustment to college life, even though she was running faster times than her new teammates.
You know, Coach always talks about how we don't run against each other, we run with each other. That was something that my high school team kind of had some of that, but not to the same extent that we have it in college. So it meant a lot that I had teammates who automatically embraced me and were supportive of me and my success, even it meant that I was placing better than them, and kind of showed me like, wow, this has meant so much to me. It's helped me so much as a freshman. This is what I want to be like, and this is the teammate I want to be to the future underclassmen.
The bonds with her teammates were strengthened even more during her sophomore season. The day before the national meet, Harden would faint and have a seizure on the course as the Trojans were training. Harden was released from the hospital that night and was allowed to run the next day, finishing 10th overall and helping the Trojans to a 3rd-place finish as a team.
Yeah, well, going into that national meet, we were expected to place, top 3 in the nation. And, after I spent the day in the emergency room, we kind of hit the point where it was like, we were thinking that most likely isn't going to happen because I was the top runner, and I think a lot of them were probably thinking I wouldn't race, and if I did race, who knows how it's going to go. So I think, again, I've kind of touched on the fact that I feel like my place on the team and my worth on the team isn't based off of my performance or how I run, and I feel like that was a situation that really demonstrated how much my teammates care about me and how much I mean to them and to my coach beyond my athletic ability, because we were in a position where I didn't know if I'd be able to run, and they still cared about me immensely and they still loved me and they showed it. So I feel like that really strengthened our relationship a lot.
That episode helped Harden strengthen her faith as well. The Illinois native says in that moment she was forced to trust in the Lord and not rely solely on her own strength.
I kind of got to see very quickly, within 24 hours, how his hand is at work in my life and how it kind of all played out for my own benefit in the end. And I feel like that was a really great example because I passed out and had the seizure, and within 24 hours is I ran the race and I placed 10th. It was a very quick turnaround, so I got to see almost instantly how the Lord was at work. But in life, it's not always like that. Sometimes bad things happen and you have to wait months or years to see how it plays out in the end. So I feel like when I'm in difficult situations, I can look back at that moment in my life and I can kind of be like, I don't know how it's going to play out in this situation. I don't know how it's going to play out in the future, but I know because I've been through this before, I know eventually it will work to my own benefit.
Harden was diagnosed with epilepsy after what happened at Nationals, and thankfully has not had any episodes since. The senior will graduate in May with a degree in exercise science and will then move on to physical therapy school. Harden's time spent around doctors her sophomore year influenced her career choice.
I kind of realized the extent that relationships with healthcare providers play in the recovery process. And I feel like physical therapy is a great field because you get so much one-on-one time with your patient. So I feel like it's a great career for me because it involves everything I love, the exercise, the science, and also puts me in a position where I can form meaningful relationships with my patients, the same type of relationships that I benefited from in my sophomore year of college when I was in and out of the hospital all the time. I have a neurologist that I met with a lot my sophomore year, and I really appreciated her and my relationship that I had with her because she based her treatment not just off my diagnosis, but off who I was as a person. She got to know me. She knew I was a 19-year-old college student who was on the cross-country team. She's like, obviously we need to address your epilepsy, but at the same time we need to consider that you have a huge portion of your life beyond epilepsy that you want to continue living. So she basically said, like, let's figure out how to treat your physical condition while allowing you to live like the most joyful life you can. And I feel like I really appreciated that, because there's so much more to recovery than just the physical aspect.
Before she races one final time for the TU women's cross country team, I asked Harden to reflect on her career.
The past 4 years have kind of been crazy. We've gone through a lot of changes between my sophomore national trip. Now we've combined with the boys program, and we've been through the whole COVID ordeal. So I feel like a ton has happened in this time. And I also feel like the most consistent thing in my life has probably been the relationships that I have with my teammates. And every year, even as one class graduates and a new class comes in, we've been able to maintain a close team culture and a group of girls who care about each other and care about running and care about our relationship with God. And I feel like that just keeps us so unified and so connected, and something that I'm extremely grateful for.
With the Taylor women's cross country team, Rick Johnston, Trojan Sports Network.